Welcome to the Finpari binary option tutorials. Lesson 2. In this lesson, we will talk about how to trade binary options and also additional types of binary options. Some people are afraid to trade binary options, considering that it is difficult technically. We are introducing a simple step-by-step instruction that will dispel your doubts. While trading is conducted through Finpari broker, this should not confuse you because trading platforms have very little differences. Step 1. Choosing an asset. There are 4 major asset classes: currencies, commodities, indices, and stocks. In each asset class, there is a big number of assets to choose from. So after you have chosen an asset class, you need to choose the expiry time. As an example, let's choose 23:30. Step 3. Click on either call or put button depending on the analysis and the price movement forecast of a chosen asset. Note that the result of a trade will be calculated based on the price at the time when you open a trade. This is very important. There are brokers who have other conditions. In particular, the profit of a bought option is calculated after a couple of minutes from the time when the trade has been executed. We do not advise for beginners to start trading with such brokers. Step 4. Now it is the time to enter the amount of your investment. At this step, you must be very careful because sometimes during psychological stress, people do crazy things. Before you click call or put button, properly check the amount that you don't have extra zero at the end. Remember that in case of a loss due to carelessness, no one will refund your money. Trust my experience, stupid mistakes often occur, especially at the first stage of trading. Now let's place a test trade. First of all, what we need to do is to choose the asset we want to trade. We can do that by clicking on the drop-down menu. The next step is to choose the expiry time. Same from the drop-down menu. Please note that the expiry time has to be based on the chart of your broker. On your broker time, in other words. Because this expiry time can be different from your local time. So please make sure that the expiry corresponds to the chart. So we have chosen the expiry in 20 minutes from now. The next step is to choose the amount you want to trade with. So let's choose 25 euros. Now the final step is to choose whether you want to predict that the market will be higher or lower at the time of the expiry. So let's make a prediction that the market will go down. So we're choosing a put option. Next step, click apply and approve. In order to see whether your position currently in profit, on a break even or in a loss, you need to scroll down, choose open positions, and then find your trade. You can see that our trade was put option, which is the latest one, and all the details of our trade are displayed here. First will be an asset, then the strike rate. The strike rate is the price at which you bought an option. Current rate, call or put, in our case it was put option, start time, expiry time, amount invested, and the payout. Now you need to pay attention to the current payout because it will reflect the current state of your trade. So if your position is currently in the money, which means is in profit, you will see the payout of 43.25, which is 73% of the 25 euros, which is also stated here, potential payout. If you would see here amount of 2.5 euros, that means that your current trade is in a loss, out of the money. The reason you would see not 0 but 2.5 euros is because there is a protected amount. You will in any case receive this amount back. Most of the binary options broker will have 0 instead 2.5. And the third scenario is where you will see 25 euros, which means your trade is at the money, neither in profit or loss. Now, as we know how to open a trade, let's talk about additional types of binary options. Apart from regular binary options, above call or below put, where you need to determine if the value of an asset will go up or down, brokers offer other options. For example, you might have a choice of the following types of options. Option to touch, or in other words, one touch. Here you need to predict whether the value of an asset will touch a certain level set by the broker prior to the expiration of an option. There are several varieties of such options. However, we will not describe all of them here, because despite of the enormous profit potential, from 250 to 500%, they hardly ever end up in the money. If you are a beginner, it is better not to pay attention to these options. Next one is options for 60 seconds. Very tempting kind of trading for beginners. You can earn 80% on your investment very quickly, but only at the first glance. Such short-term options are difficult to forecast because you will have to analyze not the price on the chart, but the market noise. Therefore, in the long term, it can lead to losses. At the same time, it can be very effective if traded during important news release. So let's have a look at the example how to trade 60-second options. First of all, we need to choose an asset from the drop-down menu. The next step is to choose the expiry. Finpari offers 3 choices: 30 seconds, 60 seconds, and 120 seconds. This is not the case on all the binary options broker. You need to see whether you have these choices. Next step is to choose the amount you want to invest. Again, we are choosing that from the drop-down menu. So let's go with the 10 euros. Now here we see the details of our trade. The potential payout is $17, which is 70% pure profit. However, if the trade is losing, you will receive back 0. So let's make a prediction that in 60 seconds, price of the euro dollar will be higher than the current price. For this, we need to choose call and approve. In order to follow the details of your trade, you need to scroll down, click on open positions, and then choose 60 seconds. Here you will find the asset, the direction, either call or put, start time, strike rate, current rate, investment, and a payout. So if your position is losing, you will see that the color will be changed to red. The last, you will see the time remaining until your option expiry. So in our case, only 50 seconds left. In 15 seconds, we either receive a profit of 70% or we will lose our trade. So this is how 60-second binary options work. Let's move further. You will see that some brokers offer such feature that calls option builder. It can be useful for beginners in particular when choosing the percentage of the profit to risk ratio. Parameters may be different. We won't get into details here. You just need to choose a suitable ratio for yourself. What I recommend is that you start with the simple binary options, especially if you are a beginner. Keep others for later time when you will have enough experience. At the end of this lesson, I would like to give you a few assignments. First is to learn binary option trading techniques. Make a few test trades with a trade size not more than 5% of your initial capital. And second assignment, in order to understand the principle of working with them, use the minimum trade size to buy additional options. In the next lesson, we will learn how to calculate the win ratio in order to trade without losses, and also go through money and risk management principles.